Let's do a sit down, chat with me, honest conversation. I used to love videos like this. Like, these are one of my favorite types of videos because I can just talk and be myself. And I feel like short form videos, you're always in such a rush that you're either talking too fast or you're overthinking of like how you're saying stuff and then you're editing everything out. These are gonna be my more slow-paced videos. You know, if you follow me, you subscribe to me, you wanna get to know me, we're just gonna yap, we're gonna talk, and if you wanna listen to the whole thing, you can, and if these are not for you, that's okay too. I'm gonna be so honest in this video. I want to start getting way more comfortable with long form videos, and so that means I'm gonna just like share more of my life on here, and I'm gonna choose to do this on longer form videos versus short form, just because I feel like short form most of the time, like, you know, you get pushed out to some strangers and you get a lot of random hate, whereas my long form videos I feel like are more for like that personal connection to the people who are subscribed to me, and you know, I want to get to know you, I want you to get to know me, and so it's more personal. So anyway, let's get to the point of this video. I want to talk about me and my husband and what we do for work. My husband and I decided right when my baby was born that we wanted to make sure that one of us was always the one taking care of him. It's just our personal choice. We don't want to do school, we don't want to do daycare. We simply want to take care of our son at home, and it's something that we work hard to do. And yes, we have struggled financially because of this, because we don't have two incomes, but we both really want to enjoy like those first 4 years of like their childhood. They're literally babies for only so long, and we made this choice for ourselves. And so people are so quick to make assumptions when it comes to like one of us working versus the other, and there's this weird stigma that the man has to be the one who works. Like, who cares who works? I've seen people where the woman wants to work full-time and the guy's a stay-at-home dad. Like, who cares what role is doing what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's just this weird stereotype about like gender roles and marriage roles, and also how marriages are supposed to look. Like, people just envision an expectation for something and just assume that that is either the right way to do it or the way that everyone else is doing it. Like, everyone's marriage is personal. And I personally think that the most important thing in any single marriage is that both partners are communicating, both partners are being honest, and both partners are agreeing and happy with the decisions that they are making. That's what matters. Not what other people think, not what society thinks, not what this person on social media thinks. And so we've decided for our family that, you know, obviously, do we know how long this is going to be the norm? No. We don't know if our son's going to be homeschooled. We don't know if that's something we're going to consider. When the time comes, we will make that decision. But now that he's only 3, we for sure know that we always wanted one of us to be the one to be home with him. And originally, because my husband was the one with a job, I had no choice but to be the stay-at-home mom. And I was fortunate enough that I've been doing social media since literally 2007, and I've always been making money on social media, so I knew I could leverage that while being home with my son and still make income. So I didn't technically have to like make no income at all, and so it just made sense for us at that time. So let's fast forward to what exactly happened for people who are new here. I had moved to Nashville. My husband had a full-time, well, no, he didn't. When he got here, he had to look for a job because we moved from Florida, and I had one job. I had one full-time job at the time. That's the only reason why we moved, because I knew that I had that position, and no matter, you know, what happened with my husband, he would obviously eventually get a job. Like, so we made the choice to move from Florida to Nashville. I had a full-time social media job. It paid really, really well, and so we were doing fine. Eventually, I was already pregnant at that time. Eventually, I don't know how this happened or what the timeline is, but we went to an event and I was offered another full-time job because technically I work as a contractor, like freelance. I can take as many clients as I want, and so I took on this client. It paid as much as a full-time job, so did the other one. So technically I was making as much as 2 full-time jobs. They both paid really, really well, and we were able to save a lot of money during that time while my husband was looking for work. One thing about me is I like stability, and so I didn't want my husband to be without a job for so long. So while he was looking for like a job, he got a job in coffee because that's what he knows and that's what he's good at. So he got a job at a coffee shop. The first one that he got was ridiculous because, like I mentioned in my short, The minimum wage here is like $7 and something cents. We had no idea at the time. And so that job paid literally the bare minimum. Everything else you would have to make by tips. Thank God that like maybe 2 weeks later, he got a new job at another coffee shop that paid so much more. I think it was like 12, 13 an hour. And so we decided to go with that for the time being because we just needed to make sure we both had jobs. And so that was the job that he took, and I was working my 2 jobs, and eventually my son was born, and out of nowhere, I was laid off from both of those clients because of the economy. Literally both of them was just because of money cuts and stuff like that. And it was obviously a scary time because my husband was working in a coffee shop, but it just was the timing that it was. And I decided that I was going to go full on social media because I knew that I could make that work, and it pays really well. And so I was like, I'm just gonna go head on doing social media while I look for work. You know, if I get a job that makes sense from home that I can actually do and pays decent enough, then I'll take it if it happens. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. And so that was the plan. And because I lost my job, that's when things obviously became a little bit more serious, and my husband decided that, you know what, I'm gonna start looking for work and see if I can get something that pays better, because it just made sense to, like, we need to make sure that we're providing for our family, especially with this economy and how it was getting at that time. But it also had to make sense. My husband was at this coffee shop and he had a raise, and he was full-time. He could literally work more than 40 hours if he wanted to, because he had a really good relationship with that coffee shop and the manager. And so yes, we had choices like, you know, get another job that pays more, but were we promised 40 hours? No. And so that's what we decided to do. We both did like a plan. We decided that by this time, because we had savings, if we don't have any options, like for sure we'll get like a really high paying job, even if it sucks. And we just didn't want to do that right away because we wanted to make sure that my husband had time to be home. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like when kids are so young, it sucks that one parent has to miss out on so much of the baby's life. Whether it be the mom, whether it be the dad, like it just stinks. And so I didn't want my husband to work 2 jobs and never be home. Like, it's just not what I wanted. So we had conversations, we discussed these things, the possibilities, what it looked like, and like at that time, it wasn't a necessity. We had savings, we had a plan, and we're like, okay, we're gonna go full on the things that we know we're really good at and see if we can make this sustainable. That was the plan. And so my husband went full on looking for a bunch of jobs and things that made sense to his career, either music, graphic design, maybe anything he could do from home, because if he could do anything from home that's full-time, no matter what it is, that would have made sense, that paid well. But finding a job in this economy was not an easy task. And so we both decided whoever gets a full-time job that pays really well and the thing that we love to do first, they will be the one who works and the other person will stay home with our son, because that just obviously makes the most sense. Or if my social media took off, then that would be great too. So we had a bunch of little things in place, and that's what the plan was. And so obviously you guys know the rest of the story. Eventually I got a job that pays amazing, such a blessing, came out of nowhere. It's exactly what I want to do with the company that I've always knew that, like, if this company gave me a job, I would in a heartbeat work for them, because I've worked with them before. I know that they're flexible. I know that they allow me to work from home with my son if I need to. And it was honestly the perfect timing. And so I talked to my husband when it happened. I'm like, should we do this? This means you would stay home with Gabe. And we were both so excited to take this opportunity because it just made sense. I would rather my husband be with my son than a random person. We don't have family here, so there's not a lot of options, and this was like the perfect thing for us. Now my husband gets to stay home with my son, but also he's focusing on his music, and his music is finally taking off because he has the time to focus on it. And so everything just was supposed to happen when it was supposed to happen, and we are so happy, and that's what matters. And so I want to share this story because I feel like there's just so many unconventional like jobs and people doing either or creative jobs or things that you don't really see on social media, and then people are so quick to have all these like assumptions and all these judgments and all the things. But at the end of the day, you know what's best for your life, and you get to make the choices for your life and your marriage. And if you're confident in them, I think that's all that really matters. So hopefully you guys enjoyed getting to know me a little bit more. And if you have any questions, of course, I'm always so happy to answer them. So leave comments below. And if you did like this video, make sure to give it a like, and I will see you guys on the next one.